In a lot of ways, it reinforces it in ways, and it actually makes you feel sort of more, in sync with the world, because there's so many similarities.
Yes.
I studied a course on cosmology and creation myths, and it's phenomenal how many beginnings.
In the 90s, she was everywhere, gracing runways, dominating magazine covers, and towering over New York on Calvin Klein billboards. Christy Turlington wasn't just another model. She was the embodiment of elegance, timeless beauty, and quiet strength. But behind the flawless images was a woman with much bigger ambitions. This is the story of how Christy Turlington transformed her fame into a force for change and became more than just a supermodel. Christy Nicole Turlington was born in 1969 in Walnut Creek, California, to a Salvadoran mother and an American father. Growing up in a multicultural home gave her a rich and unique perspective, allowing her to balance two very different worlds. Her early life wasn't filled with dreams of fashion shows or modeling contracts.
People recognize my picture and sometimes recognize what I do, but it's not unbearable in any way.
Instead, Christy was deeply passionate about horses. She spent much of her childhood riding, finding freedom and joy in the sport. But destiny had other plans for her. At the age of 14, during one of her regular horseback riding sessions in Florida, she caught the eye of a photographer. That seemingly ordinary moment turned into a life-altering encounter.
And then he sent them to somebody, and then they contacted me and said, "Would you like to?" And I thought,
The photographer recognized her natural beauty and striking presence, encouraging her to explore modeling. What began as a casual pursuit quickly evolved into something much larger. Christy started with small modeling jobs, balancing school and her new world of fashion assignments. Yet her quiet confidence, graceful poise, and distinctive features made her stand out.
I'm on the road constantly, and hotels all the time.
Within a short time, she was no longer just another hopeful model. She was a rising star in an industry that thrives on uniqueness. And soon, the fashion world would open its doors wide to her. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, fashion stepped into an entirely new era, the rise of the supermodel. At the very heart of this movement was Christy Turlington. Alongside Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, Clea Schiffer, and later Kate Moss, she became one of the iconic Big Six, a group that redefined beauty and celebrity on a global scale. Christy's collaborations with Calvin Klein came to symbolize the decade itself. The campaigns were clean, understated, and minimal, yet powerful, stripping away the excess of the 1980s and setting a new standard for elegance. Her face became synonymous with quiet confidence, modernity, and a kind of timeless allure that felt effortless. Throughout the 1990s, Christy graced the covers of Vogue countless times and ruled the runways of the world's most prestigious fashion houses, from Versace to Chanel to Valentino. With her long-running Maybelline contract, she didn't just belong to fashion insiders. She became a name and face recognized in everyday households, bridging the gap between high fashion and popular culture. Yet, beyond the glamour and fame, what set Christy apart was her presence. She wasn't driven by drama, nor did she seek constant attention. In an age when models became celebrities, Christy let her work speak louder than any headlines. With grace and composure, she embodied a rare kind of beauty, timeless, elegant, and unforgettable. In the whirlwind of the 1990s supermodel craze, an era marked by flashing cameras, front-row drama, and the relentless pursuit of fame, Christy Turlington stood quietly apart. She wasn't just another striking face on a glossy cover. She carried with her an aura of calm and thoughtfulness that set her apart from the spectacle. In a world obsessed with glamour, she embodied a rare combination of grace, intellect, and quiet dignity. While her peers chased the brightest lights of celebrity, Christy pursued knowledge and purpose. She enrolled at New York University, where she explored comparative religion and Eastern philosophy, subjects far removed from the runway. Later, she earned a master's degree in public health from Columbia University, proving that her ambitions reached far beyond the fashion industry. For her, true achievement wasn't defined by contracts or campaigns, but by personal growth and a deeper understanding of humanity. Christy often emphasized in interviews that beauty fades, but wisdom and purpose endure. She valued inner evolution above constant attention, reminding the world that fulfillment lies in substance, not spectacle. In doing so, she redefined what it meant to be a supermodel, not only a symbol of style, but a lifelong seeker of meaning. In 2003, Christy Turlington's life took an unexpected and life-altering turn. What should have been one of the happiest moments, welcoming her first child, nearly ended in tragedy when she suffered a life-threatening postpartum hemorrhage. Though she survived, the experience revealed a harsh truth. Millions of women across the world are not as fortunate. This realization sparked a profound shift in Christy's purpose. No longer satisfied with simply being a face on magazine covers or fashion campaigns, she began using her voice to speak about something far more urgent: maternal health. She discovered that most maternal deaths are preventable, yet unequal access to basic care continues to cost countless women their lives. By 2010, Christy turned her awakening into action. She founded Every Mother Counts, a nonprofit committed to making pregnancy and childbirth safe for every mother everywhere. What had once been a career rooted in beauty and glamour evolved into a mission of advocacy, awareness, and change. Christy Turlington was no longer just a supermodel. She became a powerful voice for mothers worldwide, proving that true influence comes not from fame alone, but from the courage to transform personal pain into a movement that saves lives. Christy Turlington didn't just stop at raising awareness, she began creating powerful media to amplify her mission. In 2010, she directed No Woman, No Cry, a groundbreaking documentary that followed the stories of women facing life-threatening risks during pregnancy and childbirth around the world. The film was raw, unfiltered, and deeply human, shining a light on a global crisis too often overlooked. For many viewers, it was the first time maternal mortality was presented not as an abstract statistic, but as a lived reality with faces, families, and heartbreak. Her work as a filmmaker didn't end there. Christy went on to produce more short features and campaigns that gave voice to mothers whose struggles were rarely heard in mainstream media. Her storytelling was never about glamour or fame. It was about survival, dignity, and justice. Each project carried the same message: every mother deserves safe, respectful, and compassionate care.
A woman is that we have this unlimited capacity to give and to love. And I think when we come together, the power of us as a collective entity, I think there's nothing like it on earth.
Beyond filmmaking, Christy became a leading advocate on the global stage. She partnered with the United Nations and worked with countless NGOs to elevate maternal health on the world's agenda. Whether speaking at the UN General Assembly, collaborating with local organizations in low-resource countries, or mobilizing donors through her nonprofit Every Mother Counts, Christy consistently used her platform to push for systemic change. Her approach set her apart in a world where celebrity activism can often feel shallow or performative.
I became a mom 10 years ago, and I always like to say that that's the day I became a global maternal health advocate, because from that experience, I had a complication that is in many parts of the world life-threatening and often leads to death after childbirth.
Christy demonstrated that fame could be redefined, not as a spotlight to bask in, but as a beacon to redirect toward others. She became a living example of how influence, when used with integrity, can move beyond image and generate real impact. Today, her work continues to save lives and inspire global action. Through advocacy and funding, countless clinics, midwives, and maternal health programs have been supported. Millions of women, many who may never know her name, have benefited from her relentless dedication and compassion. Christy Turlington changed what it meant to be a model, not just shaping fashion, but shaping futures. Her legacy proves that true influence comes not from appearances, but from purpose. The lights of the runway dim, the flashbulbs fade, and the glamour of the fashion world eventually slips into memory. But what endures are the lives touched, the voices amplified, and the futures rewritten. Christy Turlington's journey is a testament to the truth that beauty is never just about what we see. It's about what we choose to do with the platforms we're given. From being Calvin Klein's iconic muse to becoming a global maternal health advocate, she redefined the very meaning of modeling, not just showcasing fashion, but embodying compassion. Her influence now lives not on glossy magazine covers, but in safer childbirths, healthier mothers, and empowered communities worldwide. In the end, Christy Turlington showed the world that while beauty may be fleeting, purpose is everlasting. And that, more than fame or glamour, is the truest and most powerful form of influence. If you enjoyed this story, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support keeps us going.